Hello everyone, I'm Teja Payapalle. Thank you each and everyone, whoever is online attending the jury. And I'm here to talk about Craft plus Futures projection of mine, which is towards hyperlocal. I know it's been a really tough time through pandemic, but one good thing that the pandemic made us all realize is to care more about the locality we are living in, our vicinities, boost up our local economy, and create opportunities which are local in nature. With this thought in mind, let me take you through my journey of understanding crafts and the future scenario together with respect to the locality. The idea of community, narrative relevance, and the impact of technology has always had a major impact on me and my thought process. So I was able to come to the conclusion that design innovation through collaboration between craftspeople and technology can contribute towards sustainability, which is in meaning a better way of life. After looking at some of the interior practice projects which had been around from 2010 to 2020, I saw a pattern emerging which emphasized the need of crafts from making pavilions and highlighting craft related resorts and tourisms in 2010. And at the same time, someone was pushing the boundaries of metal fabrication also through digital techniques. This was all happening in 2010. Then later, architects like Anna Heringer have worked totally in the localities. Then we see a transition and shift in understandings of meanings and cultural relevances in the projects towards 2020. With that thought in mind, I come to a conclusion again, stating that interior practice is being dictated by the elemental nature and through the position of crafts and craftsmanship. Attempt was through Accumulizer. This is when I first started understanding and debating about the meanings of weave, not essentially weaving of a textile, but weaving the structure itself, house itself, bamboo can be weaved together and spaces can be achieved. Like Gottfried Semper sir has said about the beginnings of construction. Illustration of a settlement of clay craftsmen. What if they existed in future and everything was 3D printed? This fractal cube is an abstraction which was made to depict the word. Each square loses out from the four part squares and keeps on manifolding. So to manifest the proposition, there were certain elements which were designed. For example, vertical linear elements, vertical planar elements, horizontal planar elements, elements which represent aesthetic details, architectural details, interior details, and all the while throughout the process of designing these elements, certain aspects of cultural relevances of now and how they can be translated into future is what I have tried to look at. So, for example, a redesign of a Dwajastamba with twisting squares, which is a representation from the Indian columns itself from temple architecture, or the moldings, which we usually see as sections in wood. It can be marble carved now with contouring, bamboo structures which make patterns also possible, and the three-dimensional trussing system, which is not at all joined to one another, or the decorative element of the beadry craft can relive again in the shape of a wine rack maybe, or the association we have with tea coasters of Turkish craft may be translated towards a wall panel for a studio desk for a person like me. So with the background all set, we now move towards the main manifesto. Manifesto states about zeitgeist. So zeitgeist is celebrating the spirit of times. I'll run you through with all the understandings again. So I am presuming design as a reflection of culture, designer as the bridge which collects local with the society and a whole. So the real values of local should not get translated into symbolic conceptions, but rather The rules embedded, techniques, materials, knowledge, narratives should be taken forward. Hyperlocal has two dimensions in it. One is the geography itself and the time. Both these dimensions help in creation of a diverse and very relevant content. None can stay behind. So the idea is to keep updating and not just conserve or abandon the knowledge. With this based, future is about generating iterations, exploring, documenting, participation in working towards each and everyone's respective futures and collective futures. And the kind of hyperlocal I'm imagining right now is a very immediate future, and the importance of technology in reviving local lives is of utmost importance. Societies, we as a whole, we work either towards by predicting future firsthand or preparing for future, or we try to build future together. So what I'm suggesting is, let's try to build the future together, in which we have much more contact of media, active participation, there is information exchange, there is collection of data, there is machine learning which is undergoing every time we try to create a prototype, so that materials economically and sustainably can be used. So how do I look towards the future through hyperlocalization is to make content of future, then to access future content and material resource economy. For this to happen, the crafts of India need a space to showcase all the elements, the space to explore future content, and the space for exchange of international idea, global outreach, exposure, cataloging, and platform. These are the outcomes and intentions. My aspirations come from creativity is global, but material skills and potential must remain local by Anna Heringer, and the fact that technology is a social product patterned by the condition of its creation and use, which Robin Williams and David H. talk about in Social Shaping of Technology. And finally, from Rat Lab, Sushant Verma also has quoted that, so how to be future ready? We have to learn techniques and not just softwares and present technologies and equipments which just are existing for today. With that thought in mind, now we look forward to the Festival of India. So the now with the schematic spatial planning, the initial idea was to generate a space from the center, which in response would be towards the Pompidou and expanding towards the outer periphery of it. Then in the second step was to find negatives and segregation into three different zones. So in the ground floor, there is a double-lighted mezzanine space, which forms the center part of Pompidou, and then it's divided into two wings so that the long span and the length is not perceived by people. And the circulation is also kept towards the periphery in Pompidou. So zoning partly goes towards a response of that. Then an Indian character and a touch of imperfection is what was required to this. So a scattering of zones to create a bit of irregularities was done, and then a bit of mutation to add on to these and just agglomerate on the site. Once at the site, you can see that all the porous walls are kept towards the outer periphery of the space, and the main interaction is happening in the center area of the space itself. The earthy textures of clay wall and epoxy flooring, which resembles earth, give away and make frames to view Pompidou from an earthy texture of India. Once entered into the space, everyone has a degree of freedom which is available. It's not a really curated kind of an exhibit that you have to take this path and go, but entry is the only thing which is a bit restricted. After that, how you move is up to the person to perceive. Hence, enough open spaces has been provided and the flow has been given so that people try to spend more time in the space thinking about the elements and trying to absorb the elements which are being showcased to them. So the longitudinal sectional perspective shows the transition from the outer porous layer into the open space of the central area and the other two discussion zones through a layer of amorphous columns which imitate wood turning as a technique. An attempt was to find alternative usage for the same of the semi-precious stones. Then you have golden thresholds, which mark entrances to private areas, and the outer layers again wanting you to interact with Pompidou and a convention from India. Gold is used for highlights in the corners, and the architecture flows from outside to inside into the central area. The center area is marked by 4 units of B3 rack, decorative art form from Telangana, which is used in making extremely personal kind of items, maybe. So this was one iteration for that. Adjustable sliding clamps help in provision for keeping the wine bottles at place. The whole structure can be hung from ceiling through suspension cables. Dimensions can be altered and modularity can be induced into the element itself. The corner wall with kinetic facade and the clay wall. The clay wall is essentially a diagrid structure which is of 200 cross section, and then variations are given in the sectional profiles so that it bulges out in the junctions and lesser material is consumed in the inner sections. So an aggregate proportionate for this should be made because the structure in itself doesn't have any supports which can be made for clay 3D printing. This is a bit futuristic in opinion and it has to be made on site. So the retail of bimetallic strip facade is that each small unit is pasted with bimetallic strips, and then this wall becomes a panel with a base grid behind, and front cladding comes in as a partition to condition the temperatures in cavity. So these three show different variations at different temperatures right now, from open to closed state. Invar brass bimetallic strip of 0.3 mm can do the job for this. But for interior users, sometimes a condition has to be created and it has to be taken on sensors to simulate the effect. Here is the view of entrance in which threshold we can see, and the challenge in threshold was to go deeper that the chisel can't reach out in making the grooves in the design of the threshold. Partition wall, which mimics slip-on work, but it's over MDF and there is provision for glass to be pasted. In the flooring, ceramic inlay in wood, an attempt at looking at resistive floorings. Then the view of the corridor with the linear elements and the holography display going on in the discussion zone. Then we have the Tarkashi partition wall panel, central area, in the view with the water bodies in the space. So after all of this, let's relook at what the future at hyperlocalization was. So the content here is scannable and you can get a Dropbox link of the file. Download the file in iPhone or iPad, can be iPhone 6s and plus. So the camera opens up, you can download the element and visualize. I'm still in working for Android version. Sorry. That's about my journey of understanding crafts and futures through hyperlocal or technolocal as a perspective. Thank you.